Okay, today I wanted to tell you about the main parts of a woody stem. So I have this illustration that I drew. And if you can see the middle yellow part, that's known as the pith. Then the tube that's next to the pith is known as the xylem. And the tube next to the xylem is known as the cambium. The tube next to the cambium is known as the phloem, and then that outer layer of the woody stem is known as the bark. So a couple things about the woody stem. Here you could see this stem over here, and this outer layer, this is known as the bark. And every year that a plant or a tree grows, it actually acquires a new layer of bark. And so sometimes when you even cut the tree this way and you're able to see the rings on the tree, by counting each of those rings, you can actually count the age of the tree by how many rings that the actual tree has. Okay, so that's some important information about the bark. The bark also acts as kind of the what is protecting the stem. So all these important tubes that I just showed you in that picture, all those important tubes, the bark actually, the sole purpose of the bark is to protect the stem, the woody stem, from any animals or also from any bad weather, because animals in bad weather, they could actually injure the stem. And so if the stem is injured, then the rest of the plant, for example, would not be able to get to the leaves. The water wouldn't be able to get to the leaves, and then the plant is not able to survive. So the main purpose of the bark, it's really important, and it acts as kind of as the protector of the stem, of the woody stem. The xylem, which is right next to the pith, and that pith, the yellow part, it's really important because if you look here, I don't know if you can see, but if I took this and I actually pressed, I could actually press it, and it's really soft inside. Okay, it's really soft inside that. So it's really soft. And so the pith, what happens is that it actually allows the plant to kind of be more elastic. And so sometimes when it's raining or when it's windy, the plant will move and bend. And the pith is actually that part of the plant, the woody stem, the part of the woody stem that allows it to kind of move and bend. That's like the elastic part of the plant, of the woody stem. The xylem, you can see this picture over here, but the xylem also has a really important part. Okay, the xylem carries the water. It carries the water, and it is the most important of the three tubes. If an animal bites through the xylem, this will then not allow the water to get to the leaves of the plant. So the xylem is what is the tube that actually carries the water from the roots to the leaves of the plant. Okay. And then if you look, the cambium is next to the xylem. Okay. And the cambium also has a really important function. The cambium is also important because it is the inner tubing system. The cambium promotes growth of secondary xylem and phloem. Okay, so anytime that the cambium actually helps with the new development of the woody stem. Okay, and then the phloem, if you look over here, the phloem is right next to the bark, and the phloem also has a really important part. Okay, phloem comes from a Greek word which means bark, and the phloem carries the food down to the plant. Okay, so here are all the parts of the woody stem: pith, xylem, cambium, phloem, and bark. Feel free today to draw an illustration, or feel free to draw to also take a look at this picture and try to, create your own. Or you could also, explore woody stems in your neighborhood and try to, label the parts of the woody stem. Okay,